We're going to be talking about the Curb to Car app. It's one word if you're looking for it in the App Store. Curb to Car. It is spelled out with a T-O, not the number two, nothing funny like that. Do not get it confused with the Curb app, which is normally what happens when you just try to search for it with voice. The Curb app is another ride sharing app, such as Lyft or Uber. Make sure it says Curb to Car, and then there is a subtitle that says something like, Where is my vehicle? It is a free app. It is available currently for iPhones. It is coming to Android soon, and the developers are MIT. So, right up the road here. I downloaded this app about a month ago when I first heard about it. I've used it about 8 times, and it has served me well 8 out of 8 times. And so I decided that I would give a demonstration of how to use it because I know one of the biggest barriers for people using rideshare apps is once they learn how to use the app, they then have the difficulty of how do I find the car once it's pulled up in front of me, or if it's pulled up across the street, or slightly to the left, or slightly to the right, or if there are three cars that pulled up in front of me. So, what this app does, it does one thing and one thing only. It uses the video camera of your phone to identify the make and model and orientation of the car that is in front of you to try to match it with whatever car you tell it you're looking for. That's all it does. It doesn't give you GPS directions. It doesn't try to give you advice. It doesn't answer questions. All it does is tell you about the cars that are in front of you. And so I've been enjoying this because it takes away some of the stress that I sometimes feel if I need to call something like Ira or Be My Eyes. And I'm wondering, what if somebody doesn't pick up in time by the time the driver shows up? Or what if the cellular service where I am happens to not be great and we keep losing the signal and their feed is delayed? Um, I've also been able to use my Meta glasses to say, hey, Meta, what kind of car's in front of me? But that can take some time. Or if you're using live AI on Meta glasses or similar glasses, that can be a bit of a battery drain as well. Um, and so I have been using this as an option that has lowered my stress. So, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you a little video that I made. I made it with my Meta glasses. I have no idea visually what it looks like, but you will be able to hear a little bit of what the app is saying to you. I repeat most of it just in case the audio's a little quiet, so you'll hear my phone and my voice in the video. And you'll be able to see, if all things went well, that I'm really just holding my phone out in front of me. I'm not doing anything special, really. And essentially, you will see how quickly it can respond, what kind of voice prompts it will give you. To answer some questions that were asked already before we started, this app does work with VoiceOver and any other app that might be open at the time. So if you have any kind of split screen, if you have a larger phone, or if you're switching back and forth between apps, You'll still get all of your notifications from each app. So, Uber tends to say your driver is arriving or your driver is arriving shortly at the 1 minute or 2 minute mark. Please be ready to be picked up. Driver is arriving now. And it also works if you are not a voiceover user. It is self-voicing, so it will speak to you whether voiceover is running or not, and voiceover and the app can speak at the same time. So you probably want to make sure you know which voice is speaking, but it's not too tricky. And then somebody else asked if it also worked with Lyft. It works with any car you could imagine. So if your friend is coming to pick you up and they tell you they have a particular type of car, you can plug in your friend's car outside of any app. Ideally, your friend would come and find you rather than expecting you, but they might be in a place where they can't actually pull over or get out of the car in a busy pickup. So I'm going to play the video. It's actually two videos that I meshed together because in the first video, when I was looking for a black Nissan Rogue, I was talking with the driver afterwards, and he actually put the model of his car into the app incorrectly. You'll be able to hear what he has, and what the app correctly identified was a black Nissan X-Trail. So that was not the app's fault. That was the driver's fault for listing the wrong car. So then after I start walking to my black Nissan X-Trail, you'll hear that it seems to kind of start over, and all of a sudden we're looking for a Subaru Legacy, because I wanted you guys to hear what it sounds like when the correct car is identified. It'll make more sense when we get there. So let me get my screen share started, and I will start the little movie that I made. Speech on. Start broadcast. Button. 3. Stop broadcast. 2. 1. You are sharing screen. Okay.
We're gonna be
do I need to restart it?
Nope, you're good. To help find our car. I just ordered an Uber outside of the Brookline Senior Center. And what I am going to do is swipe to the right to find the type of car I'm looking for in the Uber app.
Ride details. Driver name. Vehicle license plate. 3VCV96. A black Nissan Rogue.
A black Nissan Rogue. So now I'm going to go over to CurbToCar.
Message driver. Button. App switcher. Uber. And CurbToCar. Active. Paratransit mode. Switch button.
And there is a text box where I just put in the type of car I'm looking for.
CurbToCar. Heading. Vehicle description. Describe your ride. Text field. Insertion point at end. Text field is editing. Insertion point at start.
Black Nissan Rogue.
Inserted black Nissan Rogue. Screen curtain off.
Just realized I can show you the screen as well. Very basic little screen. Just an edit field, and I'm gonna hit find my car.
Paratransit mode. Find my ride. Button.
Find my ride, rather. And then I don't have to do anything except point my camera around, and it will tell me what kind of cars it's seeing go by, if it needs a better view, things of that nature.
Pause button. Waiting for verification. Detection error. Retrying. Brown Volvo XC70 wrong make or model straight ahead. Rear view of car.
Rear view of a brown Volvo, which sounds like it's getting too close to me. Back up, Mr. Volvo. They're going the wrong way out of the driveway.
White Dodge Caravan wrong make or model on your right. Rear view of car.
It seems
need a better view.
A white Dodge Caravan it just saw.
Gray Volvo XC70 wrong make or model on Waiting for verification.
Gray Volvo. So if a car goes by very fast, it'll say waiting on verification and it needs to see it again, which is why it's not naming every car that goes past. Alright, we're paused here.
Blue Honda CRV. Wrong make or model on your right. Rear view of car.
Blue Honda CRV.
Waiting for verification.
I'm gonna mute voiceover.
Speech off.
This app is self-voicing, so you don't need voiceover to be on. Just turning it off because sometimes Uber announcements come up saying that your car is arriving soon, and charges will start to apply, things like that. So I don't want them to talk over each other. I'm gonna get a little closer to the curb. And we'll see what we get. Looking for, I even forget what car we said, black Nissan Rogue. Hopefully it shows up soon. Otherwise we're just gonna kind of stand around waiting. Let's see.
Waiting for verification.
It's not getting the cars that are going by. They're a little
Waiting
too
for verification.
fast. We'll see when the next one is going to show up. Waiting, waiting, waiting. Please hold. When the car shows up, it will start to beep to tell me that it sees the correct car. It'll tell me if it sees the front, the back, the left, or the right.
Waiting detection error. Retrying.
So you kind of know which side of the car you're going to, and it will try to give you some verification of how far away it is. It might say like 54 inches away on the right, for example.
Waiting for verification.
Let's see.
White Toyota RAV4 wrong make or model on your right. Rear waiting for verification.
A white Toyota RAV4. I wonder if this is my car. Maybe.
Black Ford Explorer wrong make or model on your
Nope.
left.
Black
Right side of
Ford
car.
Explorer. Let's see.
Waiting, need a better view. Retrying. Black Nissan X-Trail. Detection error. Retrying.
Black Nissan X-Trail. I wonder if this is actually
Waiting for
the
verification.
Rogue.
Black Nissan X-Trail. Wrong make or model straight ahead. Right side of car. White Chevrolet Express. Wrong make or model. Waiting, need a better view. Retrying.
Express.
Black Nissan X-Trail. Left side of car.
Black Nissan X-Trail. I wonder if that's...
Detection error.
Yeah.
Waiting for verification.
Alright, we're looking for a gray Subaru Legacy.
Over. App switcher. CurbToCar. CurbToCar. Active. CurbToCar. Paratransit. Find my paratransit mode. Paste from clipboard. Paste from clip alert. Clipboard is empty.
Yeah.
Clipboard is empty. Okay. Button.
I hit the
Text
wrong
field.
button.
Insertion point at end. Text.
Gray Subaru Legacy.
Inserted gray Subaru like paste from paratransit. Find my ride. Button.
Find my
Paratransit
ride.
CurbToCar.
Let's go down to the curb.
Finding your ride. Heading.
It's gonna look through the camera. Good morning. So there are no cars just yet. You will be able to see, once it can start seeing some cars, it's going to be making some beeping sounds. Here's a car that's going to be driving past. We'll see if it says anything.
Waiting for verification. Ron Gray Subaru Legacy. Left side of car. Now, your driver is riding.
Okay.
Daniel is riding sitting in a Subaru Legacy. 5S of 19.
And that is that. So in the second video, the Legacy pulled up, and it saw that it was the right one. It gave me a quick little beep. It did vibrate in my hand. It said that the correct car was found. And then the driver pulled around and pulled more in front of me. So that is how that app works. And that's all it does. It is a little verbose sometimes, but I'll show you how we can go into settings and change some of that. Does anybody have any questions on the video before we actually go into the app itself? The exploration of the app is pretty easy. There's very little on the screen, but we'll still go through, and then we'll go through some of the settings so you can see how you can alter it. Any questions so far?
Actually, I have a quick question.
Yes.
If you're wearing meta glasses, will the app use the meta glasses camera?
Not at this point in time. That seems like something that could possibly happen in the future. But like for Ira, you can make phone calls and things, and it will, they can see through your camera on your meta glasses. So I'm sure the technology exists. It's just a matter of if MIT wants to develop it to connect to wearables versus being all in the app itself. Any other questions? Good morning, Luigi just joined us. All right, I'm going to go over to the CurbToCar app itself.
Very good. Now I joined you, Ashley. I think you can hear me.
Yeah.
Voices, words, speaking rate, 75%, 60%.
Turn my speaking rate down a little bit.
Words, voices, actions, handwriting, characters, handwriting. Low L, 3 apps, 161
I didn't do
apps.
an L.
Blind legend.
I did a C.
T, 9 apps, 161 apps. A block C, 8 apps. Calculate CurbToCar. Opening CurbToCar, heading.
Okay, so hopefully those of you who can see are seeing this now. Here is the CurbToCar app. There were a couple little announcements at the top, just kind of saying what the CurbToCar app is. Then there's an edit field where you put in your car make or number, make or model rather, and then you can put in the license plate information if you wanted to. I typically don't, because I don't think that I would be able to aim my phone well enough to be able to capture the license plate as it's going by. But if you put in the license plate, there is a setting where you can say, yes, tell me if you get the license plate, but if you don't, please still tell me if it's the right type of car. Then there's a paste button. If you had copied and pasted the text from, say, Uber or Lyft, if you are using VoiceOver, you can do a 3-finger quadruple tap on the name of the car that it said, and that will put the information on your clipboard, and then you could hit the copy button. That way you don't have to dictate anything. And I will start at the top here, because really the only thing you need is that edit field and then the button that says find my ride.
CurbToCar, heading.
So it says CurbToCar at the top.
Vehicle description, heading.
A heading asking for a vehicle description.
Describe your ride, e.g., white Toyota Camry with license plate ABC 123.
Then it just gives an example of what you could say.
Text field.
And then next is the text field. I find it difficult to find this text field just dragging my finger around. It tends to go to the copy button instead. But here is where I could type or dictate or paste something like blue Mercedes-Benz, if that happens to be the car picking you up.
Paste from clipboard button.
The paste button.
Paratransit mode, switch button, off.
The paratransit mode button that you can just turn on or off. That makes it so you can put in more basic information, like you could say it's a Ford or it's a sedan. If you know, like the MBTA tends to use sedans, and it just kind of prompts it to look for like logos or car numbers that might indicate that it's a paratransit vehicle. I haven't tried it with paratransit, and in my opinion, the paratransit drivers should be looking for you. You should not be looking for them. That is just my opinion.
Find my ride, dim button.
And then there's the Find My Ride button. It's dimmed right now because I didn't put anything in. But as soon as you double tap on Find My Ride, it instantly starts looking through your camera. That is all you need to operate this app. You don't need to set up an account. When you first open the app, you do have to give it permission to use your location and access your camera. Pretty standard for an app such as this. And then there are some settings that we will go through, but you do not have to alter any of the settings to start using this app. You can just give it permission, put in the car, and hit the Find My Ride button. You don't have to do anything else.
Tab bar, selected, find, tab, 1 of 2.
At the very bottom left, there's the Find button, which brings us to the screen we're on now.
Settings, tab, 2 of 2.
And the very last button on the screen is Settings, and we'll just quickly go through the settings, and that will be that.
Selected, settings, tab, 2 of 2, settings, help and guide. Learn how to use CurbToCar button.
So there's the help and guide. This is basically the user manual. So it gives you step-by-step instructions if you need a reminder of what to do.
Language, heading.
Your language.
Language, system default, button, pop-up button.
Mine is set to system default, so whatever language my phone happens to be in is the language it will speak in. But if for some reason you really wanted just this app to be in a different language, you could do that.
Changes the language for all text and speak. Navigation settings, heading.
Navigation settings.
Audio beeps, switch button, on.
Audio beeps are on by default. You will get beeps only when it sees the right car. But if you have kind of an auditory sensitivity, if the beeps are too loud or too high pitched, if they're just grating on your ear, or maybe the pitch of them is just high enough that you can't really hear it, you can turn those off.
Enable or disable audio beeps for feedback. Speech guidance, switch button, on.
You can turn off the speech. You might have heard it was pretty verbose. It spoke a lot, saying verification, need better view. I personally want the speech because I also want to know what car is in front of me. That way I can be pretty certain it's not my car and the car is not just sitting there waiting for me. So I leave that on, but if it's too chatty, you can turn it off.
Haptic feedback, switch button, off.
Haptic feedback, that's just when it vibrates in your hand. I turned it off because I'm not really sure why. I think it was a little too much going on with the beeps and the words and the vibration. But you might want just the vibration if you want to be kind of discreet as to what you're doing.
Enable or disable haptic pulses for feedback. Navigate before played match, switch button, on.
navigate before plate match, meaning it will tell you that your car is here and where it is located even before it finds the license plate if you put in the license plate number.
Start navigation before a license plate match is confirmed.
So after each of these toggle settings, you've probably noticed that it gives its own little explanation. So it's essentially saying the same thing I'm saying now. So in the future should be pretty easy. You don't have to wonder, well, what does this setting do?
Announce all detected cars. Switch button on.
Announce all detected cars. Maybe you only want it to tell you when the correct car is there. I kind of find it interesting to know which cars are coming past me.
Announce every detected car. Not just announce retry messages. Switch button on.
Announce retry messages. I'm actually going to go ahead and turn that off.
Off.
I don't need to know when it says re-verifying this or that. I'll make it a little less verbose.
Announce status messages like picture too blurry. Trying again.
So turn that off. It should be a little less chatty now.
Announce waiting messages. Switch button on.
I've never gotten a waiting message.
Announce waiting for verification messages.
I guess I have.
Speech rate 50%.
You can change the speaking rate.
Adjust the speed of speech rate. 50. Display settings. Heading. Show favorites and recents. Switch button off.
And then this was one I actually just discovered.
Announce retry messages. Switch button.
Yesterday. You can have your favorite searches and recent searches show up on the screen. I don't have any favorites, but if you have a particular driver that's assigned to come to you, or if you know the ride is always going to send you this particular car, or if your friend has a particular car, rather than having to type things in, you can have it listed as a favorite on your screen. Again, I personally think paratransit or your friends or whoever it is would be more likely to come find you rather than you finding them. But whatever the circumstance may be.
Announce status messages like picture too blurry. Trying again. Announce wait and adjust the speed of spoken. Show favorites and recent. Display your favorite. Advanced settings. Heading. Show advanced settings. Switch button on. Direction settings. Heading.
And then there's the advanced settings. I won't go through all of them because as you can tell, they say exactly what they do. But some of the advanced settings are things like, do you want to know the orientation of the car? Do you want to know how many inches the car is away from you? Things like that. So all of these you can just toggle on or off. And at the very bottom, there's a button or a section where you can contact MIT to give them your feedback. And so I'm probably going to contact them, one, letting them know it's been working well. And I could ask them questions like that were asked today. Are there any plans to have them working with meta glasses? Things of that nature.
Ashley, this is Rachel. I have a question.
Yes.
The same way that other apps have memory, hold things in their memory. I think when cars are passing by and stuff like, is that stored? Is all of that stored or not necessarily?
No, that is
No.
not stored.
That's not.
It is
stored.
not saving this video. It's just using the video camera
Gotcha.
in order to identify things.
Got it. Okay. It's not saving it. It's just letting you know what's in. Okay. Thank you so much, Ashley. Thank you.
Otherwise, you'd
Very
quickly take up quite a few gigabytes on your phone if it was taking 5 to 10 minutes of video every time you do it.
True.
It's a lot of memory.
That's true. That's true. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Have you gotten to use it a lot, Ashley?
I've used it about 8 times.
Okay.
It actually took me a while to try to get videos that I could use because every
Okay.
time I tried, either no other cars were coming down the street, like what
Okay.
happened with the Legacy, where I live on a residential street, and so the only cars going down there are people who live there or people who took a wrong turn.
Right.
And I was like, well, I I don't just want to show it getting the right car. I want to show it getting the wrong car. But
Right.
then as I leave the Brookline Senior Center, that's on, a city street, and so cars are just zipping past. And so
Okay.
I had to take like 5 or 6 different videos to be like, give me something I can use. Um,
Okay.
um,
Thank you. It's very interesting. Very.
yeah. I find this app to be very easy to use. And
It
part
is.
of the reason I was having so much trouble getting the videos is because it works so fast
Mm.
that it was hard to capture. And I was like, well, I got into my car. Or sometimes an Uber driver pulled up behind me and called out, Ashley. And I was like, man, you ruined my video. Like, thank you for your help, but I need you to not be helpful in this situation. Things like that.
That's good.
Mm.
Ashley, how did you resolve the issue with the first car where it was the wrong description?
So what happened there, where it was saying the Rogue is like, what's the likelihood that another black Nissan has pulled up in front of me at the time where my phone also vibrated in my hand to let me know
Uh,
that Uber was giving me the announcement. Um,
okay.
Typically, I leave the Uber announcements on, so that also would have said your car's arriving now. Um, you couldn't hear it, but as I took another step, the driver, who was probably about 40, 25 feet away, did call out Ashley. You just couldn't really hear it on the meta glasses.
Okay.
So when I took a step forward, he verified, and I was like, okay, yes, this is my car.
Okay.
And then I did ask him, like, this is saying you have an X Trail. Do you have an X Trail or do you have a Rogue? And he was like, oh, yeah, that was my mistake. I have an X Trail. Like, well, you should fix that. And then I did teach him. I was like, I used artificial intelligence to find your car.
I bet
Um,
they are shocked. Huh?
That's what I was gonna say. They're probably like, probably just
Like, how
looking in
did
the
she
mirror,
know?
looking at you like,
yeah,
what's
well, he
going
was,
on here?
yeah, he was like, how did you know what car I
How
had?
did
And
she
then,
know?
I showed him I took it as a teaching opportunity. I was like, here in Uber, it says your name and it says you have a black Nissan Rogue. And then most people probably don't know the difference between a Rogue, and they're probably just using the license plate when you pull up. Like, but for a visually impaired person, they might be using their glasses or an app like this, and it could get confusing if you've listed the wrong car. I've also had drivers say, like, my car's blue, and then somebody else verifies, actually, that's gray. Because, some people are kind of colorblind,
Color.
where maybe it's like a bluish silver in the right light kind of thing. So I doubt he went back and changed his profile. But I was like, if you could, that would be helpful in case you ever there's a lot of blind people in this particular area. So, you know,
I
could
kind
be a
of like.
helpful thing.
I kind of like the idea that they don't know what we're holding in our hands anymore, except besides the white, red and white cane. So they better watch their step and they not get naughty or something like that.
Yeah, they don't know we're watching.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they don't know what to expect.
yeah. But I will say his mind was blown
I bet. I bet.
when I
Good.
was like, no, artificial intelligence. That's because he was like, how'd you find my car? It's like,
Uh huh.
oh, it's right there.
Can't hide anymore.
Can't hide, can't get away. But it was a good experience. He was impressed. And I really want to try this in front of the hospital at the drop off and pickup spot.
Yeah.
I also really want to try it in front of the Mattapan Public Library because it's kind of a cluster in that area for picking up an Uber. So these were relatively easy, pickup locations where the person could drive right in front of me. There weren't really cars in the way. I'm interested to see what will happen when there's a bunch of parallel parked cars and the Uber driver has to pull up next to the parallel parked cars. And you kind of have to shimmy your way between the parallel cars. I don't know if anyone's ever had to do that.
Mm.
But I'm I'm definitely going to keep using this. I have been enjoying it, and it's free and takes up almost no battery power at all. So